This guy dropped one of the rarest items in the entire game. Here's how. Before I get into the video, thank you to the sponsor of this video, Opera GX. Opera GX is a web browser designed for gamers. One of its most useful features is called GX Profiles. You can create a GX profile by going to Settings, Manage GX Profiles, and then create a new profile. After you're done, the profile will show up on your taskbar. Some profiles you might like are the potato configuration, which is designed for lower end PCs, and/or the streaming profile that gets rid of all your annoying notifications. Even if none of that interests you, there are so many other features. There's an integrated social media channel, which allows you to browse and chat at the same time. I find the Twitter one to be really nice and is the main way I browse the website, but it's compatible with a ton of different websites, such as Instagram, Discord, Facebook Messenger, and even WhatsApp. The Hot Tabs Killer is also really nice of a feature, as it highlights the most resource intensive tabs you have open so you can easily close them and keep your PC running smoothly. And finally, if you're tired of getting flashbanged whenever you browse the web, fear not, because if you go to the browser settings, you can enable the feature to force dark pages and protect your eyes. Even if you don't browse the web much on PC, Opera GX is even available on mobile devices under the name GX Mobile. If any of this seemed interesting to you, be sure to click my link in the description to download Opera GX for free. Thank you Opera for sponsoring this video, and now, back into it. On March 1st, 2022, or in other words 5 months ago, dyes were added into Hypixel Skyblock. These dyes were added to the game as players really wanted to be able to dye their armor. However, it wasn't possible to do it normally, as it was patched early after the game was released due to players abusing the system to scam players. The dyed armor that still exists from before this patch has gained insane value, and by adding these dyes to the game, the owners of these armor sets were scared that their sets might become worthless. However, Hypixel thought of this and implemented two measures against this. First of all, armor dyed with new items will receive a small symbol beside its name, signifying that it's dyed with an item. And the second thing that they did was just making some of these dyes crazy rare. So rare that this update has been out for almost 5 months now, and there are still dyes that no player has ever dropped. But as you can tell from the title, recently someone actually dropped one of these crazy rare dyes. This being the Celeste dye. The Celeste dye is a light blue colored dye that has a 1 in 100 million chance to be dropped from wolves in the hub. Yes, you heard me correctly, 100 million. The player who was lucky enough to drop this item was Big Daddy Necron. I can't believe I said that. After dropping it, he ended up selling the dye on the AH for 1.5 billion coins to a player named Ruxel, who has already applied it to his Necron's chestplate, which I guess you could say makes his Necron chestplate the rarest one in the server. However, Black Necron is still worth way more, as it's much more sought after. You're probably wondering, how lucky was he to drop this dye? Did he put in the work and had a high chance of getting it, or did he just get extremely lucky? Well, let's go ahead and calculate it. Big Daddy Necron has killed 11,556 Ruin Wolves and 973 Old Wolves. I don't know how many he has killed before the update was released, but let's give him the best possible chances and say that they were all killed after the dyes were released. You might think that the way to calculate this probability is really easy. All you have to do is add the two numbers of wolves and then divide it by 100 million, but that would be straight out incorrect. In order to calculate the probability, we must instead think in terms of the complement probability. In other words, what's the chance that you don't drop the dye? Well, that's easy. It's just 99,999,999 out of 100 million. Then, since the probability isn't conditional, all we have to do is raise this probability to the number of wolf kills. This gives us the chance that no dye was dropped. So now all we have to do is take the complement of that, and that will give us the probability for him to drop it. This gives us the equation of 1 minus 0.9999999 to the power of 12,529. This results in the probability of him dropping this item with that many kills to be a 0.0125% chance. You might think with all the people who played this game that someone would have dropped this item a lot sooner, but you would be wrong. 100 million is a huge number. By using the website Matt Does Dev, we can see the top 100 players for Ruin Wolf kills. For the sake of the argument, let's assume that all these kills happened after the update was released. Even though there's no way in hell that's true, let's just say that. After adding up all the kills, it comes up to a total of 22,989,562 kills. Using the formula we used earlier, I calculated the probability of any of these players dropping the die to be a 20.5% chance. Keep in mind, this is assuming that these kills happened after the update, which I really doubt. And I bet even if we took all the kills in the entire game, the chance would still be less than 95%. This shows how absurdly rare this die is. However, even though this might feel like the rarest item, the Celadon die is still yet to be dropped, and I bet it might not even be dropped by the end of the year. However, only time can tell.